Hey there, welcome to my channel. Well, I was asked if I could make an updated version of how I sew my cloth diapers. I've been sewing cloth diapers for what, 8, almost 9 years, I believe. So I started when G, with my oldest, was like around a year and a half, and this year he's gonna turn 11, which is crazy. And then I continued with my second son. I made all his diapers. All his diapers were for me, so that was pretty sweet. And when I started making my oldest diapers, I didn't have a lot of experience. I didn't know a lot of the tricks and everything that you had to do to make diapers. So I have a little bit more experience. I'm still not a seamstress. I don't know every single trick in the book, but I'm pretty sure we can figure it out together. And I'm gonna start with the materials. I use materials. I used to have a supplier that I would buy fabrics, and I love buying from them, but unfortunately they closed their business, and it's really hard now to pick other ones because I was loyal to them. I've always gone to them, like I will always buy from them. That's the only place I will buy. So now I've been trying different websites, and I'm gonna list them below so you can check them out. But usually, like, I buy from this website, was Pseudo, I think it's called, I don't remember. And I tried another one, which is Diaper Fabrics, and I like them. The shipping was pretty fast, so that was pretty cool. The other one has good customer service. It has improved tremendously in the last couple of years, which is great because I'm always in a rush trying to make diapers, get them out. So the first fabric that I always buy for my diapers is POL, and this is, I'm gonna put the name here because it doesn't come to mind right now, but it is basically a laminated fabric that prevents the leaking. So that's what it looks like on the inside. This is the lamination, and the outside is a really nice vibrant color, and I love the material because it stays the same color after washing. Washing cloth diapers takes a lot of loads that you gotta do multiple times, so it's a great material. It withstands all those loads that you do. Another material that I use is microfleece, and this is what it looks like. It's just really fluffy and soft, and this is the inside. It looks like some sort of knit. So those are the ones that I mainly use. There are other materials. I'll probably make a video about other materials that you can use for cloth diapers. There are many ways that you can use a cloth diaper, waterproof or not waterproof, but this is just for the pockets. So I'm going to show you how I actually do the whole process for my cloth diapers. I make one size pocket cloth diapers. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so my first step will be to trace the fabrics, and I actually do this in bulk. When I get all the fabrics, I just trace it and cut all the materials I'm gonna use for the diapers. So I'm gonna go ahead and also trace where the elastics will go because it will help me later on when I'm making them. So I cut 2 pieces of this, and I don't have a seam allowance for this pattern because it's already included in this. So I only have like a tiny little seam allowance here, but it's not really needed. I always cut it like that because it makes it faster than actually following the line. So once I have that, I'm gonna go ahead, one of the pieces I'm gonna embroider because I wanted to make it a design for this diaper. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the embroidery. I have a PE800, a Brother PE800, and this is what it turns out. But you don't need to do this if you're just making a regular diaper. Obviously you can skip this step. And the next one too, because I'm gonna add the first layer, I'm gonna add it to the second layer of POL. This is just because of the embroidery. This is not necessary when you're just making a one piece of POL diaper. So I'm gonna go ahead and join these. I'll use this clips that I bought from Cam Snaps that I love because that way I don't have to use pins and perforate the POL. So I'm gonna go ahead and add them, that way they won't move. And this is a microfleece, so I'm gonna place the fuzzy side down, and then I'm gonna sew a straight line, which will be the top of the diaper. I will be doing also a zigzag stitch or like a overlock looking stitch later on, but I'm gonna go ahead and start with this. So it's just gonna be like about, I would say, half an inch seam allowance from the top, so that way it will give you enough room for you to focus on the straight line. Once you have that, go ahead and mark where the snaps will go. I have a video on how to apply the snaps, but I'm showing you a little bit of how I do it here. It's pretty simple, and I try to do sorry, coordinating colors, and I get mine from Cam Snaps. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up. As you can tell, I have them already here with the magic of editing. Anyways, so I already sewed the two pieces together. Now I'm gonna put the fuzzy side down again, and I'm gonna secure all the edges with a straight stitch. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna close the diaper. Since this is a pocket diaper, that's why it looks like this. I'm gonna close it all except the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and just follow the inner line where this overlock stitch is, and I'm gonna leave the top where the back is open, because that's where the elastic will be. So once I have that, I close the other side as well. I'm gonna remove all the excess fabric because it will make it easier by the time I have to close the diaper. And on the top, this is the top where I have the elastic tabs. I'm gonna fold it because I don't like it to look weird or bad done. So I'm gonna use pins for this, and also for the POL on the other side. I know a lot of people don't like using pins. I do it because where I'm placing the pins is where I'm gonna sew, so there is not an issue with it. I haven't experienced any leaks because of this. So just be careful to not be poking around the POL, because it will completely ruin it, or it will just mess with the actual waterproof of the material. So now I'm gonna create a tube, and this is gonna be like a small little pocket for the elastics. That's why we're doing it this way. So I'm gonna sew a pocket all the way, but I'm not gonna close it yet. The reason for that is because we're gonna take the elastic and measure where the length of the pocket, cut it, fold it in half, and we're gonna cut the elastic. That way it will be for both the micro fleece and the POL side. With the help of security pin, I'm gonna start like pushing the elastic down this path, and I'm gonna secure it with the straight stitch on one of the sides. Once I have it, that I make sure that it will not move, I'm gonna start pushing the elastic, the pin, so I can cross the elastic to the other side, and I'm also gonna secure it with a straight stitch down. Okay, now so we're gonna do the same thing for the other side, and I change the threads to green. I will do just this little gap. I'm just gonna close it so it doesn't look like rough edges. You don't need to do this. It's just something that I prefer to do, especially with the POL. I do it sometimes with the micro fleece, but not so much. It's just the POL that I like to do it. So we're also gonna close this pocket right here the same way. Just make sure that you're following the same path where the needles are. That way you're not creating extra holes in the fabric. So go ahead and do the same thing with the pin and the security pin, just to make sure that this side has the elastic. I like doing it this way because also if you catch the elastic, it will not work. It will just not stretch as much as you would like it to. Sometimes the POL tends to be a little sticky when it comes to this part, but most of the time it works right. It depends on the kind of POL that you buy. So now that we have this step done, we're gonna cut the extra threads, and I'm gonna flip it to the right side. make sure that you get all the edges, especially those corners, because if not, they're going to give you trouble later on. So you can use a stick and just push the corners all the way. Just be careful to not push too hard because it might come apart or it might rip. So just be careful how you treat the POL. It's a little delicate, but it can stand a little rough treatment. As you can tell here, I have my markings where I will put the elastic, and I'm going to measure from one end to the other where I have those markings, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold, and then I'm going to cut in half. And this piece will work for both legs. This is going to be for the legs on the elastic on the legs. So go ahead and place the elastic inside. And here where I have the line, I kind of feel around where I'm going to be putting the elastic. This is a little bit tricky when it comes to doing this, but once you get used to it, you can do this in like a second. It doesn't take long. So I changed the thread to the top green and the bottom white. I will start securing the elastic on this end by doing a simple stitch. I usually go 2 or 3 times just to make sure it won't move when I'm closing the diaper, because then I will have to start all over. And I'm gonna show you, this is what it looks like. Look, there is in between the POL and the micro fleece. So now the other part of the elastic, I gotta get it to the other marking that I have right here. So it's basically, it's gonna stretch from one side to the other. Once you have that, place it on there and secure it with another stitch. This will make sure that the elastic is actually set in place on both points, and it will help so there is no leaks when your baby is using the diapers. So I'm gonna do this on the other side too, on the other leg, and now I'm gonna start closing the diaper. So I'm gonna sew, I would say like 1/4 of an inch on from the edge all around, except for the elastic part. That's gonna be a little bit different. It will be like around an inch from it. I mean, half an inch, no, probably like 3/4 of an inch. Anyway, so let's go ahead, and this is where we're getting to the elastic. This is the tricky part. So you're gonna pull the fabric, you're gonna pull your diaper, making sure that the POL stays up and then the micro fleece is not showing to the top. You're gonna keep it tight and stretch this way, and then you're gonna start sewing. I have a little bit of issues here because of the position of the camera. I was on my way, but basically this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna create a pocket for the elastic to be there and to be able to work. Now finish closing all the way to the other side. Make sure that the elastic it's actually stretching, that it didn't get messed up or it didn't run it over with the machine. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to the other part. As you can tell, look, I use my 2 hands for this and just kind of pull as I'm going. You can stop and then continue if you're having issues, but basically this is what I do. And then I'm gonna finish closing the diaper. That's basically the hardest part of making diapers, is just that gap. There are other ways that you can do this. This is just the way I do it. I make sure that all the elastics work because I don't want to have any issues. So people tell me, oh, it's not working. So I always check. You can also run a flashlight from the back. Make sure that the elastic is there. You can kind of tell when it's there. And I'm going to go ahead and just finish it up. I'm going to add a little tag with my boutique name. And I will also add the snaps for the tabs. And this is what it looks like. I truly love making cloth diapers. They're pretty cool. You can save a little bit of money if you make them yourself for your children. You can make a little money by selling them once you get good at them, and add designs like I do. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I know I made this tutorial before. I just wanted to clarify a couple of steps because I know the other one I recorded a long time ago, so it's not the same quality. So hopefully that was a little bit more helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to make a video soon. Thank you, Diane, for suggesting this video. I know it took a little longer than I expected. I'm just on spring vacation, so I decided to just get it done. And I hope it was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.